Alright, just got back from Dutchman's food. Got our chicken. Hopefully that's enough chicken. It's about, well, we have extra. So there's the pork. And we're gonna go put that in the freezer.
Oh wait, you're gonna
okay.
put that fruit to cook.
All packed in to the bear's freezer. And ready to thaw out a little later. The chicken has been sitting overnight. Brought it out here in the kitchen, and just to give you an idea, it's still frozen icy, but it's cold, but it's almost ready. I mean,
yeah, it's fun.
It's mostly thawed. Still cold. I'm just trying to separate two chunks here. Separate out. So there's 3 of them. So that's about ready. We'll cook that tomorrow. Here's everything, most everything. That's the garlic, ginger, Ziploc bags, mayonnaise, liquid smoke, sugar, pans. There's supposed to be 2 of these. There's a little soy sauce.
Are you sick of them already?
These are the pineapple cans, number 10 cans. These we got them at Dots for about 3 something. They were on sale each. These are for 5 something, but they are the sliced ones. They look a little nicer. We're just gonna mix them both, or at least put some on some. 4 cans should do it, but I can't remember exactly how many it takes. What you have there are the bags of rice. This is our food storage, but it's a 25-pound bag, and we probably go through 1 full bag for it.
This is 14, you know what I mean? So you just go to whatever it's nearest to.
So it's 3 times the amount, 3 times the recipe amount. Here is the recipe. Wish I could focus on it. And this one here, we're going to go 4 times because it's bigger. It's actually mislabeled. And then this is going to be 4 times because it's bigger. We're cooking in these roaster oven pieces. The ingredients are right here. Yeah, oh yeah, and the garlic. Soy sauce, water, salt, and liquid smoke. It's time to turn the ovens on and prepare the pork. Turn this up, 350. The other one I just already turned on, so it's 350. We're gonna let those preheat. 3rd oven, turn on. And the 4th oven. Turn this on. Okay, so here we have the pork. Again, the 20-pounder. Notice it's dry here, but on the 18-pounder, it's got stuff inside. That means just a leak in the bag somewhere. That's why it's nice to put it on a tray or something that will keep the liquid in. This one's dry, this one's dry. Each one of these is going to go in one of the ovens. And now I'm going to show you how to mix the marinade for this, or actually it's more like a rub. So first thing to do is take all of these plastics off. It's going to have some bloody liquid there, so you're going to need to drain that. And then flip all of them so that the more fatty side is at the bottom. So fatty side, we'll flip that one, flip this one here. And we'll put them all so they're sitting like this. And it's good if you can to separate these a little bit so you get cooking all around it and things. So I'm going to do that now. Start poking this through and draining and get that mix ready. Okay. Now here are the ingredients for the rub. Remember that this is for a 5-pound. This recipe is for a 5-pound. The oven is preheated. 5-pound of a piece of pork, and in this case we have, this one is what is it, 17. The second one is 18. See that there? So in both of these cases we're just going to go 4 times the rub recipe. Then this one is 16, so we're only going to go 3, and then the last one is 14. So we're going to go 3 also. So let's go back to here. I'm going to set the camera up so you can see how I mix it. This is so easy to do that my wife is not even here to make sure I don't screw up. So we've got all the ingredients here. I'm going to quickly do this. This is a 4 times 4 of the recipe. So the first ingredient is 2 to 3 tablespoons of Hawaiian salt. We just use Morton's sea salts. I don't think the Hawaiians have a monopoly on sea salt, so that's 2 to 3 times 4. So we'll go with about 11. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 of that. It says 2 tablespoons of MSG. We are not doing the MSG. We're just opting out of that. Doesn't really make much difference on the flavor. 2 tablespoons, or excuse me, 1/4 cup of soy sauce. So I have a cup here. I'm just going to fill it up. A 1/4 times 4 is 1 full cup. I'm going to put the soy sauce in. The soy sauce we prefer is Aloha Shoyu. See, listed right there. A little hard to get in the Midwest. And we actually bring it from Utah when we come. It's one full cup there. Alright, so there's that mix on the side. The next ingredient is 1 clove of garlic, and to save time we just use the pre-mixed minced garlic. I'm going to do about 1, 2, maybe 2.5 tablespoons of this stuff. Mix it around a little bit. Very salty mix, and we've got the garlic in there. Then the last thing is 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke. So that'll be 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So we've got everything in there: the Hawaiian salt, the soy sauce, the garlic, and the liquid smoke, all times 4. Okay, I've mixed this, and a couple of thoughts. I thought, let me just add a little more garlic. That's another clove, so I'm going to put a 1/4 tablespoon in there. You mix it until everything's mixed. Then we take this around, go in here. Take this off, and you pour it on top like this. Again, this is the times 4 mixture. Got the garlic all mixing in. Now on the bottom you're going to have a bunch of oil, not oil but salt. So I'm going to try and get that salt on here too. It says to pour it on top, spread it around. And then all that happens here is going to cover. I'll show you how to cover it up. And this cooks, and then it spreads out. And then when you shred it, you just mix it all in with a fork. So the salt will dissolve as you cook it here. All right, and that is it. To do this on 4 different sets here. I'm going to do that all, and then show you how to wrap the tin foil, and we'll be done. Okay, so my wife showed up, and she is helping to put the foil on. Notice how it's really tight. Really tight. You have to lay that on there. You want it to be snug so that there's not air breathing in and out. And we'll get the foil on. Alright, so we're going to put this in. This here racks are on the lower end. Put that in, and putting it for 5 to 6 hours.
I set it for 5 and then I check it.
And a note on the salt, when you look at the recipe, it's actually better to stick to 2 tablespoons.
Actually, go for 530.
2 tablespoons per 5 pounds instead of 3, which is kind of what I did. I did a little less. Okay, 5.5 hours. And
you check it, and if it doesn't come apart easily, you put it in another.
after 5.5 hours, you poke it with a fork, start shredding it, and it should come out easily. It should come apart. If it doesn't, leave it on another 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes, and check it out. All right, putting in the third and the fourth one. Remember to adjust the rack. This one's already preheated. Set this for 5.5 hours, or actually we'll just run off the other clock. Beware, this whole building is going to smell like wonderful in the next few hours. Okay, it's been about 4 or 5 hours, and now we have the scouts together. Step number one, as they get together, is to wash their hands. Wash their hands really good, because they're going to be working with food. And we have all of the chicken and other stuff brought here. We're going to go on. Now we're going to pull out the pork and have a look at it. We're ready to pull out the pork. Be very careful. Sometimes those hot pads aren't that good installation. Drop it on top, or put it on top of the stove.
Wow,
and then if you can carefully open it up.
we needed it. Wait, I it's 4 pans in the corner. Come on.
Alright, so pork people, you see a 1/4 person. See how the salt's kind of dried up on top? So we need to now take the fork to see how well it comes apart. And this is actually coming apart really well. The term, like I said earlier, is if it falls off the bone, then that's what you're wanting to do. And this is doing really good. So what we're going to do, I think this is done. We're probably going to go back to the house and get the other ones out because everything is just coming right off. So what you need to do is take this and then shred each chunk down till it's like little, little fibers. Like this is good. Now as you get to the bottom, you're going to find that there's that layer of fat. That will probably a lot of it will pull out. But you see all this liquid here? This is also the oil from the pork, and it's mixed with that marinade we made, or the rub we made at the beginning. So as you shred this stuff, you're basically going to put it over into that marinade and mix it in. And you got to go all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to stop here because this one's ready. That means that the other one is probably ready, and we can go back to the house and check the other. There's 2 more ovens there. Okay, we just did the second piece. Alright, they're starting to shred. Tell Tali, remember it's really hot. You might learn the hard way. Alright, good.
Totally agree, people too much.
While they're doing what we call the Kalua jig, the next part is to get the one of the 2 coolers ready. We have these 2 where we need to double wash them out from the inside. That's where the marinade is going to sit.
I smell
and then we'll get that chicken ready. Okay, that's the pork chunk fat. Yep, that's where gout comes from, children. All right, shredding the chicken or the pork there. Looks like we're getting close.
Oh, you should dig it.
All right, you guys, are you getting a shoulder workout?
What's the face like?
Yeah.
I'll have to show it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like
The water's like so cold.
Bees ready.
putting that in there, getting them in the bags.
Oh, we don't want them
All
all
right,
in back.
dragging them up. Careful, slowly. Take your time. Try not to spill all over the place.
Tell me what's
All right.
ready.
Okay, so we got these bagged up. We're gonna let them cool down. We're actually gonna spread those out a little more. Get the heat off. And they're finishing up a third of the 4. So it's going along pretty fast. Good job, you guys. It's going way faster than if it were just me. So the next step is to take the ginger and the garlic and cut it up. Now the ginger you want to cut up in thin slices, almost like paper thin. Let's just take one of them and then let's
Wait, how big?
just thin,
Did you find the tin foil?
thin slices. We're not going to use all of this. And then we want to take the garlic. We'll open this up and pull them out. All right, so they're taking the garlic clone off.
Nice clothes.
Peeling it off till you get to the yellow part.
Because yours was thick.
And they're getting that ready
It's like weird.
to mash and put in the marinade.
Straight.
Okay. Part is to take the garlic and chop it up into some smaller pieces, like that. And then you take a cup or something with a flat bottom and you smash it. You might need to make these into smaller pieces. You're trying to get as much surface area out of them.
Yep, there it is.
Get those knives out of the way. Okay, so we're gonna have a whole mesh of these things, a whole bunch. We're gonna put this in, well, probably about half of these gingers in the marinade. But first, let's get this all mashed up. Okay, thanks. Okay, this part we're getting the marinade ready. We got the soy sauce. Hold on, don't dump that in yet. So we got about 8 cups here per bag. Go ahead and dump that one inside the cooler. Cooler. Spread it out. We're going to be mixing it all in. And then go ahead and add the soy sauce in. Just a minute. I'm filming.
Just pour the whole thing.
Just put it up to 8. Careful, it's going to spout all over.
It's getting harder.
8 cups. And again, it's a 50-50 mix. 8 cups of sugar, 8 cups of soy sauce. And then you have to dilute. I mean, not dilute. You have to mix and mix and mix. So all the sugar at the bottom is in. A little more. See, about a ½ inch more. Okay, so take that, put it on, inside the cooler. We've checked the top on it. Just dump it. So 50-50 mix. That's the first part, and then what we're going to end up doing is probably 1.5 gallons of soy sauce, and then the equivalent of sugar in terms of volume. So Sean's going to keep going with that mix. So now Sean has done the equivalent of the 2 gallons, well, almost 2 gallons. Last 8 cups, and then after that, this last batch of soy sauce, Sean. Okay, it looks like it comes out about just right. Press that in there. And the next step is to get a spoon or something. And just kind of stir it until it dissolves. You have to check the bottom. I usually just wash my hands and use my hands in there. So we'll get that ready, and then we'll put the garlic and the ginger in. Sean has got the marinade. We're putting some of the garlic and the ginger. Yep, Spencer, that's plenty. Bring that in while Sean mixes. This mixing will take up to a ½ hour because we're trying to get the sugar dissolved.
Hey, it's like more.
And we also brought some minced garlic just in case we need it.
It's like mixing close sugar.
Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes of stirring. We got the garlic, the ginger in there. My general rule on garlic is it's okay to have lots in there because when you cook it, the flavor is so good and it's not so strong. The ginger, though, you don't want to have too much in there because that's pretty strong stuff. Go ahead and rinse your knife in the soy sauce just to get the flavor off.
Really?
Yeah, it's all right.
Don't cut off.
Okay, so we'll put everything in the sink.
Let's wash our dishes.
So once the sugar dissolves, we're ready to put the chicken in. Okay, so the marinade is now mixed. It's been about 20-25 minutes. We have approximately 120 pounds of chicken here. It's been thawing for 2 days in the plastic, and it still has ice in the middle, which is good. We want it to be iced up in the middle. With this particular batch we got, I counted there's about 24 pieces per 10 pounds. When we got it from Sam's Club, we got it for as much as 30 pieces per 10 pounds, so a little smaller chicken. Anyway, so we're about ready to go wash your hands, guys, one more time. We're gonna take this chicken here, fry it apart. Remember, it's partly frozen. I mean, it's more so thawed, but we want it to be cold. We're gonna put them in here. Sally, when you put them in, spread apart each piece. Spread it apart. You have to unravel it because the sides, when you cut them boneless, they're boneless, skinless. When you put them in, you want that as much surface area. Yep, lay it in carefully. Yeah, just like that. Thelma, you can come on this side. And Spencer, you guys wash your hands. You come in on either side. And we'll put that in there. Okay. So, wash your hands, we will continue mixing this. And some of the chicken is still a little frozen, so we're gonna let that thaw some more. And I just want you to know that nobody was hurt in the making of this video. Nobody was cut.
No animals.
Yeah.
We only shredded
And these kids have washed their hands multiple times in this event, just so you know.
No chickens were harmed in the making of.
All right, wash your hands.
This stuff is gonna take all the natural
Everybody's washing their
oils out of our
hands
hands, and the ball will just
after they're done.
Yeah! Did you see them? They connected and they formed a big one.
It has been 3 to 4 days since I originally marinated the chicken. This is the cooler. Twice a day I'll go in and mix it. I'll either mix it by hand or use a giant spoon. This is what it looks like. And one thing I did to make sure that the chicken stays cold is I got 2 bags of ice. These are 2 10-pound bags. I don't know if you can hear there, but I covered them in garbage liners. These are clean garbage liners, of course. You want the clean exterior, so that the ice is inside, the water's kept inside, but the cold of it comes out. So you can see it's mostly melted. The liquid is still in the bags, and the chicken is in there. And I'm not going to dip my hand in right now, but if you dip it in, ideally within about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you want your hands to start to go numb, and then you can mix it around. And of course, always make sure you wash your hands twice before putting anything with food and things like that. So this is what I'm pulling from to grill into, and we'll go to the grill after this. Yeah, I meant to point out that you notice that the chicken itself takes on a darker color. That's from the soy sauce mix getting soaked in. So it's not that lighter pinkish brownish color, much darker, and that's good. You want that. The smell is that of that soy sauce smell. You definitely, again, make sure you keep this cold. It's got to be cold. It doesn't look that cold, but it's cold. So that you don't have any problems with germs. Then of course you're cooking it right after that. So keep it cold, and keep it in a cooler. And we'll be pulling these out as we grill. All right, we are grilling our first batch here. Just some pointers on grilling. I personally, there's a lot of different ways, philosophies of the way you grill. I like to grill at a low temperature, keep the cover closed. Okay, it's getting a little dark here, but I want to show this before it gets too dark. I've started pulling from the cooler. The chicken, I've loaded up here. And then here's my water in case things flare up. This is my chicken. You can see that part of it is flipped over. When you first put on the chicken, very floppy, very flimsy, moves around, bendable. But as you start to cook it, you'll notice, just have a bit of ginger on it, it starts to get a little more rigid, not so floppy. So you can see I flipped over about half of these. It's about time to flip over the rest. I've been cooking, I cook at a low heat, very low, lowest setting. And probably takes about, 20 minutes per batch. I go slow. I like to cook in slowly, make sure not to overcook anything. And if I do get flare-ups, like you see coming up there, that's what the water's for. I think I flipped over everything. So if you get flare-ups, take your water and put a little bit on it. Not so much on the chicken, but on the grill itself. And that is how I cook it. Again, I've got 20 pieces here, and it takes me about 20 minutes, 20 minutes to cook it. Every so often, I'll try and keep the cover down, and every so often I'll check it, make sure, especially look for smoke coming out. If you see smoke, that means something's burning and you want to douse it a little bit. But that's our grilling technique. We'll go through that more later. Okay, here's some chicken that's partially done cooking. I've flipped this over about once or twice. Again, I'm on a low level. Now notice the ones up top here, these are done, but I just leave them up here to just roast a little bit longer. Notice the difference. See the difference of when you put it on there. It's a little more rubbery, kind of holds its own weight. The stuff down here, if you put it there, it doesn't hold its weight at all. It's just not very, very floppy. So you know it's not quite cooked yet. Sometimes you can see through the fire. Okay, so here's a classic example of a fire that's flaming up. Now you've got maybe 10-20 seconds before it starts to burn the chicken, so I'm going to take this cup of water. Not too much, just enough to cool down the plate down below, and we're back in business. So that's an example of cooked stuff, cooked chicken, and not so cooked. Also, you know, it gets darker, floppy, and white. All right, good. So after grilling a total of probably six plus hours, averaging about 20 batch sets of chicken, about a minute each, 20 minutes per batch. Yeah, 6 hours. I'm doing a final burn of my grill. Just to give you an idea, I have my water handy here, but I'm just trying to burn off all the grease. Remember, this stuff, if you're cooking with the soy sauce, it's very salty, and if you live in a humid environment like we do here, it's going to tend to rust out the grill. Here's my old grill. This is the one I'm using now is a loaner, but the old grill, I probably grilled 40 to 50 hours of shoyu chicken on there, and it has finally kicked the bucket. It's 4 years old, 5 years old now. So final burn here. Again, you keep it under control. Once it gets burning, I let it slowly spread, and it burns all the grease off the top grill top, and then you see it's burning underneath too. So you've got to be careful not to let it get too far out of hand. In fact, I'm going to now turn off the burners and get my water handy. Again, I'm just trying to remove the oil, the grease. I'm going to shut off the gas down below, but that's how I clean up. Then the last thing I'll probably do is just rinse it, and then maybe spray it down with a little bit of oil, just so it doesn't have exposed metal that might rust more easily. And that's pretty much it. Okay, really quick, I wanted to show you 3 ways to store chicken. First on the left is the frozen marinated, and it's raw. That's we ran out of time to cook it, so we just put it in the freezer for a while till we're ready to cook it. This has been recently cooked. We just cooked it today, and we're going to seal them up. They're still open. See what they look like. We've got about 15 per bag in both cases. And then this has been in the freezer for about a week. Doesn't look like much, but when you thaw it out and put it back on the grill just for a minute or two, it comes out just great. So that's the 3 types: frozen raw, marinated, cooked, and then frozen cooked.
Like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue, and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. pretty in the sky are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where